Sorry, Mr. Minister.
This word did not come from you, it came to the state, and then you concurred with the state that you did a comprehensive medical examination on the patient that you saw on that day. Now the state, as I'm repeating that question, then the state is saying, no, that is not what the state put to you. We are not part of the dispute. Let me assure you, you are not, you are not part of the list, the dispute. You see, the dispute is about me having understood the state in a different way than you paraphrased, than you said the question. Yes, my lord.
Let's try and resolve this.
Yes.
Doctor, do you recall being asked the question as was relayed to you by...
What I recall,
yeah.
I recall being asked if what, not from my mindset, if what I have said here or what I have written here, it's an honest and straightforward assessment of an individual. That's what I remember.
Ngikhumbulayo ke mina ngikubuzwa ke lana ukuthi ke uyiqiniso yini lokhu ukuthi ke assessment noma ke ukubheka ke noma ke ukuhlola ke umuntu engakwenza ngokukhumbula kwami ikona lokho ngikhumbula ngibuzwa umbuso.
May we go to the record, madam?
Yeah.
To the audio. As it is record.
Okay, can you trace the audio for us? When did
it was just what I think it was his anti-penultimate question. Last but two questions before he closed his cross-examination. I mean his evidence.
And chief assistance is more towards the end, my lord, where
before the cross-examination.
Yes, or free examination, where I asked the witness, in light of the fact that the patient first had his vital signs taken at the reception, and he also did the examination. So it was a comprehensive. I'm the one who used the word.
Okay. Can you find that, sir? You have what?
I have it.
I can't hear.
I have it.
Oh, the volume is low.
Yes.
Is that the place?
Yes, yes.
But maybe it will be able to go closer to the...
What's the score, Mr. Minister? 2-0. I say the score is 2-0.
It's not 2-0, madam. Actually 10-0.
3-0.
10.
And you win.
Yes.
Okay. Did you hear the translation? I mean the recording.
I could hear that, my lord, and I know exactly what I said.
Okay, fine. Continue, Mr.
As it is. Now, that which you are referring to as a comprehensive medical report is what is contained in this medical form here.
That's
that is not correct. That is not what I put to the witness who spent the whole afternoon until the cows come home. Let me once again try to clarify this. The witness said before the patient comes to him, he goes to reception they take the vitals.
Objection, my lord. Objection. He who testifies and needs to give answers to the question is the witness.
So, I'm raising objection, my lord. The witness mentioned that they also check for signs of trauma, and thereafter the patient then comes to him and he does his examination. So the question was, in light of the fact that the patient first goes to reception, they take the vital signs, they check for trauma, then the patient comes to him. It's an inclusive examination. That is what was put to the witness.
Okay, I will check this later. But Mr. Nisi, you can cross-examine this witness on the basis of what you say you heard.
As it is the court.
Okay.
So, that which you are referring back to my question, that which you are referring to as a comprehensive medical report is in essence what is contained in the form that you took this court through.
Let me answer you quite very correctly and clear before you go and twist things
Yes or
again.
no?
Listen, this is a comprehensive dental examination.
Good. This is a comprehensive dental.
It's even written on the top
I
that this
can
is
see.
a dental services, and it starts
Good.
there.
Don't-
Meaning that any dentist in any practice, in any government institution,
Yes.
they should have the standards of these things. These are the things that we are taught in
Yes.
order to go through for the patient.
Thank you.
And every line that everything I have said, I was going through all the lines that were here. I didn't drag something from somewhere and then bring it inside.
Thank you.
Lana mangikhuluma ke ngokuphelele noma ngokugcwele ngikhuluma ngako lokho okuphathelene nohlolo noma ke ukubhekwa ke ngokwa semlonyeni noma amazinyo ngoba ke kubhaliwe nala.
You were telling me that it is even written here. This is Jasnji. But I can see clearly. It is written in the Tlabane Community Health Center Dental Services. Thank you. Now, on what basis do you then say that what you did on the patient, I don't know who the patient was, but the patient that we saw on that day constituted a comprehensive medical assessment and not a comprehensive dental assessment?
I'm going to continue. I think in this case, I'm saying it from my point of view. I was called in to talk about this. If you're going to talk about a comprehensive assessment, you guys should have went straight up to the healthcare center and got the whole file of the patient and then brought it here, and also with the medical examiners that were there and also the nurses that were there, because I'm part of a group. I'm alone. I can't say what the nurse did. I can't say what the doctor did. So in my turn, I'm telling the story that I saw, the story that I did on my own.
Thank you.
So meaning that me dragged into a corner of things that I'm not supposed to know, it's something else.
Lana ngikhuluma ngokwenziwa yimina ke noma lo okuphathelene nowami umsebenzi uma kwakuwukuthi ke kusekufunwa konke ke manje ngabe khanjiwe kwayiwa khona ke emtholampilo lapha yana kwase kuthathwa ifile leyana ke kwalethwa futhi nalabo abasebenza khona lapho kuleyo ngxenye leyo ke iyasemtholampilo nabo ke balethwe la ngingafakwa ke ekhoneni lezinto mina ke engazazi ngoba ke ngiyingxenye yeqembu.
No, nobody is trying to lead you into a snare. You're not being cornered here. It's just what you told the court. I am asking questions based on what you told the court. It is therefore an error to have told the court that what you did to the patient that you saw on that day, who is the subject of this hearing, and the reason why you're here today, it is therefore an error to have told the court that what it did on him was a comprehensive medical assessment. Because, as you say, you don't know what the others did. That's all.
In my response,
Yes. Respond.
I did say everything that I've said. What I'm trying to actually point out is
Yes.
it's on this document.
Yes.
Therefore, that means that I was just basically doing my job. That's what I was supposed to have done. And according to my scope,
Yes.
from where I know,
Yes.
comprehensive medical examination involving a patient as a dentist, it entitles this. That's what my job. I can't go and do what a doctor does if I'm not a doctor. These are the things that are supposed to. The file is saying everything. So I don't get where we are leading to.
Ukuthi ke uhole laphi uyakuphi nendawo angazi ke kodwa mina engikhuluma ngako iloko ebhalwe lana ke ekuyikona ke ukuthi ke ikona okuphelele okugcwele engakwenza mayelana nalomsebenzi mina engiwenzayo angikwazi ke ukuthi ngikhulume noma ngisho okwenziwa udokotela mina engasiyena.
Doc, I'm going to implore you and plead with you to be very patient and be calm. And don't rush. Because in South Africa, there's no rush. The rush is in Russia where they rush. But what I'm putting it to you is that it is therefore a misnomer, an error to have told this court that what you did on the patient on that day was a comprehensive medical examination in instances where you only dealt with these patients on the question of the teeth. Not so.
Mr. Court, please note that the witness has repeatedly answered that question. Is there any point in repeating the same question by counsel?
Thank you, Madam. Let us proceed, sir. Now, what is contained in this form suggests that what you did can be referred to a comprehensive medical assessment. Now, you have said, and I'm not saying this is a comprehensive medical assessment, it's just a hypothetical situation. Now, you have said that when the patient arrived, actually your duties as a dentist, you start to treat the patient from his waist.
Assess. I said assess, not treat. I can't treat a
You
patient.
assess. Yes.
Man, let's get it right.
Assess. Yes. Assess. Just come down.
And the dictionary says assess is what you see, not examine. Those are two different types of examinations.
Yes.
They are listed. There is inspection, assess. Assess is what you see.
Thank you for the lecture, sir. I think for the whole day you have given a lecture, but thank you. You said as a dentist, you assess a patient from the waist upwards. That's all. Thank you. Now, you told the court, as per this form, that you checked his general appraisal. What did you say again? What is a general appraisal?
That's the way the assessment comes in. So that's where
What did you say is general appraisal?
General appraisal is
Yes.
the general look of a patient.
Thank you.
Ebengikusho ke la ukuthi ke uma umbheka ke ubuke nje ubone indlela abukeka ngayo.
You went on to tell the court that you also looked at his TW joints, his lymph nodes, his lips and buccal mucosa, his oropharynx and tonsils, floor of the mouth, the tongue, the gingival and periodontium, angle classification, teeth chart, and ultimately you did the teeth chart. That's all. Thank you. Now, the state says to you, Did the patient tell you that he was assaulted? And what was your answer?
The patient never stated any assault. The only image that I was given, it was from the policeman that came in that we are looking for whether the patient had a gold tooth or not. I was assessing for that, and therefore, meaning when you assess for that, you need to state every question that's here. You need to state what it means and what it might indicate and what are the things when you say it's abnormal and it's normal. So I can't state or it's normal and it's abnormal without stating
Doctor,
what it is.
Doctor, can you please understand the question? The question that I'm posing is the state, in other words, my colleague, the prosecutor, says to you, ask you whether the patient told you whether he was assaulted. I'm asking you, what was your answer to his question?
My answer was simple. From me, from my assessment, I didn't see any sign that the patient was assaulted.
Haibo.
Ubuziwe ke ngumshushisi lana ukuthi akutshela yini ke ukuthi noma washo yini kuwe ukuthi washaywa yini. Yabe isithini ke impendulo yakho. Mina ke uma ngibuka ngimbheka ngabona ke ukuthi kwakungekho okushona noma okuyinkomba ukuthi ke washaywa.
Is that what your answer was when the state asked you that question?
As a question, is this a memory test? You know, the witness gives evidence in chief. If there's a question that my learned friend needs to ask, can he just maybe ask the witness? How is the witness now supposed to play his mind back, remember each and every question that he was asked and what his answer was? We submit, Mama, that is not fair.
Yes, Mr. Mnisi.
There is nothing unfair with the question, Manoj. I think just my colleague feels a little bit reckless. Let me remind you, when my colleague, and I'm well within my rights to ask you to repeat the question that my colleague asked you, but this is what you told the court.
Can I say?
Listen, listen. This is not a circus. Listen. I am still speaking. This is not a circus.
Okay.
Yes. When my colleague said to you or asked you this question, whether or not the patient that you saw on that day told you that he was ever assaulted, your answer was, no, he never told me. Is that not what you said?
Isn't it saying from my inspection and from what I was told? Isn't the same thing? Isn't assessment and also the questions
I never what the question you said?
Is there okay, let me ask you, is there anything in here from this document that says I should ask a patient if they were assaulted?
You know, I seem to doubt your level of understanding what I'm saying, and basically it will go down to the level of you understanding me as a doctor. You know, I thought at some stage me and you being a doctor would be plus minus be on the same level of understanding each other. But the way in which your trajectory is proceeding, I seem to have a very serious problem. A very serious problem, you see. Thank you. What you told this court as a response to the question that my colleague asked you on whether or not the accused that the patient that you saw on that day told you that he was assaulted, you specifically said, no, he never told me that he was assaulted. That is the answer that is on record. I am therefore basing the following question on that answer.
Okay.
Did you expect him? I'm not finished. I'm not finished. I'm just pausing. Did you expect him to give you that answer when you did not ask him that question?
No.
No.
Lana ke umbuzo uthi ke ubuziwe ngumshushisi ukuthi wambuza yini noma ke wakutshela yini ukuthi lona ke washaywa ke wabe usuthi wena ke cha ingabe ke manje umbuzo olandelayo uthi uma kuukuthi wena ke awukazi umbuzo loyo mbuzo loyo wawulindele ukuthi akutshele yini cha.
Thank you. Did it ever occur in your mind that you should ever ask him whether he was assaulted?
I'm not supposed to ask if a patient is assaulted or not. That's a medical officer's way of doing. I'm supposed to be able to identify if there are any signs and then report them. Those
Thank
are
you.
quite very different things.
Mina ke okwami asikuthi ke kufanele mina ngimbuze ukuthi washaywa yini ke ukhona ke udokotela osebenza ngalokho ongakwenza lokho okwami ukuthi ngibheke nje ukuthi ikhona yini impawu ezikhona ke noma inkomba yini ezikhona ubese uma ukuthi ngiyathola bese ngiyareporta ke lokho.
Thank you. Now, in terms of your assessment, examination of the patient, on the basis of what you've just said now, you assessed him and found that you could not find a possible sign that suggests that he was assaulted, not so?
Exactly my point.
Ngishilo ukuthi akukho engakubona okwakungasho ukuthi washaywa.
Thank you. In your examination of the patient, on the notion that this was a comprehensive medical examination, did you check his eyes? Yes or no?
I go back to the file. I was
Yes.
saying everything that was on the file.
Yes.
Ngibuyela futhi ukuthi ngawabheka amehlo akhe ngibuyela futhi ke ukuthi file lena ngangisho konke okukhona noma ke okubhaliwe khona la.
Did you check his did you check his ears?
I go back to the file.
Yes.
Wayibheka yini indlebe zakhe ngibuyela futhi ke kuyona ifile.
Did you check his nostrils?
That's a general. I did say, I explained right now, or one of the signs that's there, that when you assess, you check the mouth area and also you check the nose, or whether there is any deformity. I'm not eligible to open the patient's nose and check whether there is something inside or whatsoever. I'm checking the general appraisal. I didn't speak of that.
Thank you.
Okwami ke bese ngishilo ngaphambilini ukuthi ke ngiyawubheka ke umlomo ngiyabheka ke ikhala hayi ukuthi ke ngibheka ngaphakathi ukuthi kunani ngaphakathi kodwa ukubheka nje ukuthi kuloko engikubonayo ngibonani.
Would you dispute it if I were to say to you, had you gone an extra mile, and I know that was not your area of operation, but had you gone an extra mile to check his eyes, or maybe to examine his eyes, if I may put it like that, and probably to examine his ears, there could have been possible signs that would have led you to conclude that something had happened to this gentleman. Would you dispute that?
Examination of the eyes is done by an optometrist.
That I
For
understand.
the ear, it's
That
done
I
by an
know.
audiologist.
Thank you.
So, if I'm going the extra mile, I will be doing what's not within my scope.
Thank you. That I understand.
Ukhona udokotela wamehlo ukhona udokotela wendlebe uma ke mina ngandlulela kulokho ke ngizoba ngenza
So as a-
ekungafanele ukuthi ngikwenze.
So, as a result, I cannot say I would have been able to confirm
Yes.
or deny those things because that's not my job.
Angeke ngisho ke ukuthi ke ngangizobona ke ukuthi ngempela khona okwenzeka ngoba akusiwona umsebenzi wami.
It's the same as asking a carpenter to check whether a car has an oil leak or not.
Oh, you're a carpenter. This
I know I'm asking.
Oh,
It's the same as that.
okay.
Kufana nje ukuthi ke uthi ke carpenter ayibheke ukuthi imoto ingabe ivuza uwoyela yini.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. With the carpenter example. Do you then realize that the fact that you told this court that on your examination you could not detect whether or not the patient that you see on that day was assaulted, that conclusion is based on a very light and a what do they call it now?
A cursory.
A cursory, yes. A cursory examination of what you did on that day.
I was here.
Do you understand the term cursory? Means very, very, very light. It's
Yeah.
On the, yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
I was not here
Yeah.
to actually confirm
Yes.
or make sure whether the patient was traumatized or whatsoever. I was here to
Yes.
read the thing that I filled up, the document that I had in my position.
Thank you,
That's
sir.
what I was here for.
Thank you, sir.
Engikuzeleke lana mina ke bekuwukuthi nje ngizofunda ke noma ngisho lokho engakwenza lokho kwenzeka ngaleliya langa.
So basically, that is the information that now you directing to the state, that you were not called upon here to come and state whether or not that the patient that you saw on that day was assaulted. Is that a message that you now?
Message I'm delivering
According to the
is
state.
yes, as I took oath,
Thank you.
whenever I'm required
Yeah.
to come and explain what I have done, I'm supposed to come in front of the court or anywhere when I'm required to say what I have done. That's what I'm actually referring to. So that I'm not here to confirm whether the patient has gone through any trauma. I'm supposed to say from what I've seen,
Yes.
my examination, what does it say
Yeah.
to everyone who sees the page? Does it say the patient was traumatized
Yes.
or the patient had any sort of lesions or the patient has any sort of disease?
Yes.
That's basically what I'm here for.
Thank you.
Engikuzeleke lapha mina ke ukuthi nje lokho engakubona engangibuka kuyena ngase ngakubona mina ke nokuthi ke ngizosho kona ke la.
So you're basically saying you can't tell whether the patient was assaulted or not. The patient that you saw on that day.
You can, at certain instances, at certain severities, whereby it's there through what we are taught to assess, and certain conditions. The file, as it was saying, when you go through the clinical examinations, this is the parts of the things that we're saying. Or to a general dentist, if a patient was assaulted, to a certain extent, you can be able to. I did mention that if a patient, yes, they were actually assaulted, they were bruised, they had a blue eye, or maybe they were busy choked, or there was any sort of trauma that happened to them. Due to the form the way in which it is, I could be able to detect where there are bruises where and where, due to the form that I have. Meaning, or yes, a person can go an extra mile because this is what we call in medical term, there is internal damage for an individual, meaning or a patient can appear to you right now saying or they have a head that's bleeding inside a teared vessel, but you can't even tell it because when you can't see it, but there's someone specific who's supposed to go an extra mile and check that. So I was not supposed to go an extra mile. I was supposed to do what's on the file. I did that. I said that. That was my job.
My question.
Mina ke okwami kwangasukuthi ke ngeqa ke ngidlulisele ke kuloko esifanele ngikwenze, kodwa ke lokhu okukhona ke okubhaliwe khona lana ke uma ukuthi umuntu uyakutshela ke ukuthi ke lana mina ke ngilimele ekhanda kodwa ke yakubonakala ngilimele ngaphakathi, ukhona umuntu owenzayo loyo msebenzi loyo.
So because you are not that person, you therefore can't say, you can't really dispute as a matter of fact that the patient that you saw on that day, prior to you seeing him, he has been pommeled into a morals of bitterness. He was assaulted. You can't dispute that.
Maybe you didn't actually really understand maybe what I have narrated to you. Let me rebrief you again. Understand here. There is a certain extent whereby you can be able to identify such things, but there are some extent that you can't. That's why whenever a patient comes and complains of clinical signs of being, even to a general doctor, they might send them to an RMS scan, send them to an X-ray to do further investigation that they couldn't see with the naked eye. So now from what I've seen, I was told that I'm looking for whether there's a chip tooth that gold came out from, and then I assessed that in general, and then I also checked everything that's there from what I know, from what's within this file. It says, from what this file says in conclusion, it says, from my knowledge due to the file that was created by the state, which is allowed to be practiced in in Northwest, in that tribunal district, I didn't see any signs from what I have seen. That's what I can be able to say. Saying or I can say if I had gone an extra mile, saying or if I had, I can conclude and I can say, I'm saying yes, I can conclude to a certain extent, not further and beyond. Certain things will have needed to be further examined further on. But to my extent, that's what I could see. So that means from what I could see, that's what's there on the file.
Mina ke ngiyabheka ngibuka ke ngisebenza ngalokho engikubonayo ukuthi zikhona ke izimo la khona ke ungathi ungabona ke ezinye ke ungaboni ke umuntu kufanele andluliselwe ke noma omunye udokotela ngeke akubone lokho ngeso lenyama kodwa kuzofanele umuntu adluliselwe ke kuma scan. Mina ke ngenza lokho ke ngoba le form eyakhushwa uhulumeni wakhona ke eNorthwest ngasebenza ngokwendlela iform engiholela ngayo ukuthi ngenze ngakhona.
Sir, did you understand my question?
You also didn't understand my answer, maybe. Your question was, can I conclusively?
Sir,
Can I conclusively?
Sir,
Mr. Mnisi, now we are
did you
involved-
understand my question?
No, just wait. We are now involved in a debate with the witness. Just put to the witness what your instructions are
Thank you.
or what you logically think
Thank you, madam.
he can conclude having
Thank
done
you,
what he
Madam.
calls a comprehensive assessment.
Thank you, madam.
Otherwise, we'll be here
Yes.
until.
Thank you, madam. Let me spare you the agony, sir. I am putting to you that with the little assessment that you did on the patient on the 22nd of June 2020, you are in no way, you were not actually positioned to come and tell this court emphatically, or as a matter of fact, that the patient that you saw on that day, prior to him coming to you, he was assaulted. Do you have any comment?
No, I don't have any comment.
Thank you.
Mina ke ngithi kuwena ke ngohlolo ke owalenza ke noma ngendlela ke owamxolonga ngayo ke awukho isimo ke sokuthi ungaza ke kule nkantolo uzoyitshela ke ngempela ke ukuthi cha akazange ke ashaywe ukuthi cha akukho engakusho.
Thank you, sir. Sir, let me spare you the agony. That would have been my last question to you. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Omalo.
Thank you, my lord. I have no questions to the
Mr.
witness.
Omalo.
My lord, I see it's 25 past now.
Now we're going to finish with this witness today. We must sit until 9 o'clock. So be it, please.
Thank you. Sir, doctor. The document that is in front of you, if you can assist me, what do we call it? The one that we have been testifying about.
It's a comprehensive dental exam. Dental exam that any dentist must be able to go through. This is what a comprehensive dental exam is.
Lana ke kusho ukuthi ke noma ufike udokotela ke osebenza ke ngamazinyo ke lona ke ukuhlola ke okuphelele okugcwele kwawo amazinyo.
Okay. Is it a report or it's the recording? What is it?
It's a file whereby you assess, and then from what you have assessed, you write down and then you report. It's even stated here, it says progress report, notes, and treatment that's supposed to be done through the patient.
Ubhaliwe ke nalana ke ukuthi i-report ke noma umbiko ke mayelana nayo ke i-patient.
In other words, we are saying this is a report. Am I correct?
I'm saying it's a dental exam. A dental exam includes findings and report and treatment of what the things that you have seen.
Okay.
It's an examination form.
Ifomu ke lena lana khona ke i-patient ke lana ihlole khona ke ifaka phakathi ke kunombiko nokuthi futhi ke yini ke oyenzile ke kuyona ke i-patient leyo.
Okay. So, according to you, this form, in this form, you will record every examination that you conducted to that particular patient. In this case, we're talking about accused number 2.
This is the guideline that we use, yes, from the standard guideline that we use to record everything that I have seen from the patient or I have noticed abnormal or normal stuff. That's there.
Lana ke ikona ke okungiholayo ke ukuthi yini engiyibonile ke kuyona ke i-patient okungendlela noma lokho okungekho ngendlela noma ngesimo esifanelekile.
You testified in your examination in chief that you examined the upper part of the body of the accused.
I not examined, I said the same thing to him, inspect.
Yeah. Whichever, you can
Such.
give us another terminology, but that's what
Those,
you did.
those are two different. Examining means palpating, checking bloods, doing other things. That's a full inspecting. It's what you see. It's what you just have seen.
Okay.
Lana mina ke engakwenza ukuthi nje ngiya ngalokho engikubonile noma engakubona hayi ukuthi ngase ngena ke ngenza umsebenzi ke ngibheke igazi nokunye.
Is it recorded here in your report? Maybe I missed it. Is it recorded in this document that you inspected the patient who was in front of you and this is what you discovered? Is it recorded in this document?
On extraoral examination, it says general appraisal, which involves what you have seen in general. If it's abnormal, I would have ticked abnormal, I ticked normal. Meaning that I check the general appraisal of the patient, the way in which the patient is standing, the way in which the patient looks, and the way in which the patient might appear to have any sort of normal abnormalities from the normal individual human being.
Lana ke kubhaliwe ke ukuthi ke nanjengoba yila engithika khona ke ukuthi normal noma ke abnormal yiloko engikubonayo mina uma ngimbhekile ke bese ngiyathika ke.
Okay. From your observation on the upper body of the accused, you did not ask him to take out his clothes.
I
Is that
stated
correct?
in the recording, as he likes referring, that it's not my job to ask a patient to take off their clothes and then also.
I'm taking a very serious objection, but actually I'm getting a little bit. I don't want to lose my patience, but the gentleman there, he's a doctor, I respect him. He does not have to sound sarcastic when he's answering the question. You don't have to point at me and say, I kept on referring to him, I kept on referring to him. To him, I am not him. Actually, to him, I am the same. I am an advocate of this honorable court. I am going to request the court to respectfully request this witness to answer the question directly and to avoid to sarcastically keep on referring to me. I'm taking
Yes.
a very great offense.
Ms. Mfolo, can you continue, please?
Thank you. Furthermore, in your testimony, you were asked about the injuries, if the accused had injuries on his face. You remember that part of the...
Yes, I do.
Yes. And you said there were no injuries on his face that you noted or you observed.
That I observed.
Yes.
Ngishiya ukuthi kwangekho kulimala kena ke ebusweni engakubona mina.
Okay. How many patients did you examine on this particular day? Or did you see on this particular day?
We were working, 3 of us that day. We have 2 operating areas. We alternate. There will be the first person, 2 people that come
How
in.
many? How many patients?
How many patients?
Did you see?
I can't really recall how many patients I could.
Okay, it's fine.
Angisakhumbula ukuthi mangaka ama-patients engawabona ngaleliya langa.
And you did not record in this document that you observed the face of accused number 2 and there were no injuries. Am I
Because
correct?
there is no question in the file that says I should have recorded that. I was recording what I've seen. As he was, sorry for saying that, as it's already been said, that when you look at everything that I've gone through here, is the things that I was supposed to have been done. So meaning already, the general appraiser, if I did notice that there's something, even a significant trauma to the face and whatsoever, I'll probably take up normal and right where there is a bit of a scar on the left and there is whatsoever. As if I've already indicated when it comes to the other parts of gingival, I have noted already. Okay, it's abnormal, then there's supposed to be this.
Okay, doctor,
Because it's-
don't be long, doctor. We are doctor by profession, am I correct?
Yes.
The witness is trying to explain now. Counsel is raising her voice and interrupting the witness. We submit that that's badgering the witness. The witness should be allowed to respond to a question.
Yes.
Thank you, my lord. I'm on the injuries. I'm on the evidence, part of the evidence when you said you did not see, you did not record any injuries. And I've asked you how many patients you treated on that particular day. You said you cannot recall. Okay? Then my next question is, how do you recall that the accused did not have any injuries on the face if you cannot be able to recall the number of the patients you treated on that day?
And I'm going to go back, and then I'm going to say this. That side, we barely see any sight of anyone in handcuffs or any sort of prisoner that was there. So on that day, specifically on that day, he was the only prisoner I've ever seen. Meaning that whatever was really happening there, anyone who has experienced a one moment in a very long time of something that they never seen before, you can basically do recall. He was not a normal patient.
Okay.
That was the thing.
Can you allow interpretation, doctor?
Wazi kanjani ke uma kuwukuthi awusakhumbuli noma ukuthi bangaki-ke ama-patient owawabona lapha ukuthi yena-ke wayengalimele ebusweni, yena-ke isona kuphela isiboshwa engasibona ngaleliya langa, futhi-ke kuleya ndawo esebenzela kuyona nje akusiyona-ke into evamile noma ejwayelekile-ke ukuthi nje sihlanganeke noma kuze iy'boshwa ukuthi na-ke manje-ke leso sigameko esisodwa esenzeka-ke isona-ke esingakubangela nje sona nje sisodwa ukuthi-ke ukhumbule.
You know, doctor, with due respect, the fact that you did not record that in this document, that you inspected or you observed, whatever the way you did, but you found that there were no injuries from the accused face, that finding or whatever, you should have recorded it here. In the absence of that finding, which is recorded here, it means that we are fabricating the story today. You never observed the accused on that particular day, his face.
The witness has already answered that. We submit that there's no need to repeat the question.
Yes.
Thank you,
all
my
right.
lord.
Yeah.
It's on record, my lord. Thank you. And secondly, Doctor, whilst I'm still in the observation of the injuries, are you a district surgeon? District surgeon, or do you work as a district surgeon as well?
We submit that question is improper. The witness has said he's a dentist. That's his area of expertise.
My lord, I know the witness said is a dentist, but I know where I'm going to, my lord, because I'm cross-examining on the observations is in respect of injuries when he is a dentist, my lord.
Yeah, but you just have to put it that because you're a dentist and you're not a general practitioner, you are not able to comment, like Mr. Mnisi was saying. Otherwise,
Yes.
you know what?
Can I rephrase
Wait.
that?
One time, after this trial is long over, when we all have gained experience, you must listen to how this cross-examination is conducted. You must listen to the answers. You'll realize that maybe you should have posed these questions in another way. Here you can see he's just debating with this gentleman. He says this is what he didn't observe. If you put it to him that is incorrect because he doesn't have the qualification like Mr. Mnisi has done, that takes care of the thing, and then you can come and argue. But now you are denigrating each other. You're not a district surgeon. You're not this, you're not that. It doesn't help me to solve this case, because I'm going to solve this case on the basis of whether the state has proved beyond a reasonable doubt that the confessions were made voluntarily or freely, or I'm going to find that maybe the opposite, based on the evidence. But this to and froing about this document, I don't think it helps this court, because the gravamen of the criticism which Mr. Mnisi puts to this witness is basically saying the court should not accept the observations proffered by this witness. Beyond that, whether he served 6 months comprehensive training, how many patients has he seen? It's a difference between an assessment and an examination. It's a debating school. That's what we are now. Because the law is clear. If there's an allegation which has been put by the state, bring evidence and rebut it. Or when you cross-examine this witness, you can put it to him that he's fabricating, as you say, because he doesn't have the expertise to have made that assessment. And then we go forward. Okay.
Thank you, my lord. Can I proceed?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, my lord. Sir, do you know a form that is called a J88? It's a medical report, J88.
Yes,
Do you know it?
yes.
Ngiyazi ke iform lena ke esetshenziswa ngayo ke ngodokotela ke abayibiza ngokuthi ke i-J88.
Do you know that that is the form that is used by a district surgeon when he is conducting examination to a person?
I do.
Ngiyazi ke nokuthi futhi iform ke esetshenziswa uyena ke udokotela uma ke esebenza ngomuntu.
And in that form, the doctor will record the injuries or the condition of the person that he examined on that particular day. Am I correct?
I do.
Yes.
Ngiyazi ke noma futhi ukuthi ke ubhalani ke kena ke udokotela.
And in this is not a prescribed form that is used to record the injuries observed by the doctor when he's examining a patient. Do you agree with me?
I agree.
Thank you.
Ngiyavuma ke uma usithi akusiyona ke iform lena ke ekuyiyona ke efanele ukuthi yasetshenziswa ke uma kuwukuthi udokotela ke ubheka umuntu noma uhlola umuntu.
And also, let's go to the page number 4, wherein there is a consent form. Consent part at the bottom there. You see that form, that part? Mm-hmm. Were you present when this document was, this portion was completed?
The handwriting on the date, it was mine. So yes, I was present when the patient signed.
Okay.
Ngathi ke i-patient sign lapha yebo ngangikhona ngoba ke la ekubhalwe khona i-date mina owabhalayo i-date.
When the signature affixed there was appended, were you present?
Yes, I was.
Ngangikhona uma esigned.
Who signed there?
The patient signed for this,
I-patient
as
ke
far as I'm concerned.
ukwazi kwami ke iyona eyasign lapha yana.
On the first page, where it says patient signatures information, who signed there?
Also is the patient.
Nala ku-page yokuqala ke nalapho uyena owasign.
Were you present?
Yes, I was.
Yebo,
That's my
ngangikhona.
handwriting on the date.
Ngangikhona nalapho kubhalwe khona i-date mina wayibhala.
Did you explain specifically to the accused what is it that he was signing here?
Fully, we're supposed to do that. That's part of the job.
Okay.
Ngokuphelele futhi ngamchazela ke ukuthi uma sign usayindelani ngoba yingxenye yomsebenzi leyo.
In what language did you explain?
I used English.
Ngangisebenzisa ke i-English noma ke ulimi engangilisebenzisa kwakho i-English.
Did you ask the accused if he understood English?
At the beginning, when we were busy assessing the patient, I asked, there was, as I already stated, when I was speaking here that there was an assistant, because my Zulu is not proper, that was helping with the Zulu. I used to ask the questions in English, and then there was an interpreter of an assistant that explained these things to the patient.
Ingabe wambuza yini umangalela ukuthi ke isingisi uyasizwa yini? Bengishilo ke ngaphambilini uma ngikhuluma lana ukuthi ke isiZulu sami ke asikho kahle, kodwa ke lona engangisebenza naye engilekelela ke uyena ke owayengisiza ke ngokuthi ke ahumusheke ngesiZulu.
But when this consent part was completed, the interpreter was no longer there. You yourself who
No,
interpreted.
they were there. It's an assistant. The assistant remained there throughout. They don't leave. I leave before them. They have to supposed to give patients instructions of whether if there's something that's supposed to do and whatsoever, and also dismissing the patient. Then I
Thank you,
move
my
to
lord.
the
I've
next.
got no further
Okusho
questions.
ukuthi ke nkathi ke le ngxenye ke yona ke ihunishwa noma ke isayindwa ke wayesephumileke lo wayetoleka cha abahambi baba lapha yana isikhathi sonke imina engihamba kuqala kunabo ngoba bona bafanele bachazeleke ama patient okunye okufanele bakwazi.
Any re-examination?
None, thank you, my lord.
Okay. Thanks, doctor, for your assistance. There's one thing I want to put a joke to you. When they asked you a question, you said you're checking and assessing the patient as he's with you when you're filling the form. For my myth, and then you were asked, you said, a man can't get pregnant. You remember saying that?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
It just caught my ears because I've heard women say, I've got a body trapped in a man's body. Have you heard that? One day you'll appreciate the joke. Okay, can you adjourn? What's happening on Monday?
As a court, please, my lord, I thought we can wrap things up today from the state point of view, my lord. Just a few aspects.
Oh, so you must go to Monday still.
As I indicated, my lord, I've got another party head. I'm not here for the whole of next week, my lord.
So you wanted to wrap something?
Yes.
Now?
Yes.
Now?
Yes.
Okay, let's hear you.
My lord, just three things. Firstly, yesterday there was an issue of the visitors book.
Yes.
Visitors register at Pretoria Moat. The feedback that I've received is that this was just an informal register. They can't trace it. However, they're still looking. So at this point, my lord, they cannot trace it.
Okay.
Then, secondly, there's the issue of the transcripts from Boksburg Magistrate Court.
Yeah.
We just want to hand up the transcripts. We've marked them Exhibit EE. The charge sheet from Boksburg Magistrate Court is Exhibit E. So the
Exhibit EE.
yes, EE.
Yeah.
So the transcript of the 27th of October 2020 from Boksburg Magistrate Court is marked Exhibit EE in brackets 1. Then the transcript of the proceedings of the 27th of November 2020 from Boksburg Magistrate Court is marked Exhibit EE in brackets 2.
Okay.
Then the proceedings of the 5th of March 2021 from Boksburg Magistrate Court is marked Exhibit EE in brackets 3.
Okay.
Yes. We have accordingly updated the list of exhibits
Yes, sir.
wherein we are incorporating
The three documents.
the transcripts. Yes. And then lastly, my lord, there is a letter which we have marked Exhibit YY in bracket 1. This is a letter, my lord, from the Legal Practice Council in Gauteng. I've given this letter to my colleagues.
Colleagues have it.
Yes, last year already.
Okay.
Yes. we submit that that letter it's admissible, it's relevant. If we need to argue this point, we'll do so, my lord, at a later stage.
Okay.
But we beg that it be received as Exhibit YY in brackets 1.
Okay.
I'll place the contents on record. It's dated the 31st of October 2023, and it's written by a senior legal officer, professional affairs from the Legal Practice Council, and it reads as follows. I hereby confirm that according to the records held by the Legal Practice Council, Advocate Dominic Ntokozo Mjiako was admitted as an attorney by the North Gauteng Provincial Division of the High Court of South Africa on 26 March 2012 and was granted permission by the Legal Practice Council on 6 July 2021 to convert his enrollment as an attorney to that of an advocate practicing without a trust account. Advocate Dominic Ntokozo Mjiako is recorded as an advocate practicing without a trust account, and his legal practitioner number is recorded as 31584.
Okay.
Le ncwadi ke efundwa la umshushisi-ke incwadi ephuma ke kwisigungu-ke esiphethe-ke abameli i-date yakhona i-31 October 2023 futhi-ke ibhaliwe-ke uthi-ke ngiyaqinisekisa-ke ukuthi-ke Advocate Dominic Ntokozo Mjiako ngempela-ke ukuhla-ke babameli abavunywa-ke inkantolo noma-ke i-North Gauteng Provincial High Court ngeyi-26 March ngonyaka ka-2012 wasenikezwa futhi-ke imvume iyona-ke i-LPC ngeyi-6 July 2021 ukuthi-ke angabisaba-ke ummeli noma-ke i-lawyer, kodwa-ke manje abese ekhushulelwa-ke ekuthini abe i-advocate. Futhi-ke u-Advocate Dominic Ntokozo Mjiako futhi-ke ukhona-ke kuhla lama-advocate futhi-ke upractice noma-ke usebenza ngaphandle-ke kwayo i-trust account kanye-ke futhi nenamba yakhe yokuthi abe ummeli ibhaliwe khona laphayana yabhalwa-ke ilowo oyi-senior legal officer.
Okay. Thanks. Mr. Gomezulu and the other councils, are you going to dispute the information in this letter by the LPC?
My Lord, there is no dispute in relation to, it has been put it clear that the defense does not dispute the status of
Okay, fine, no problem.
Mr. Mjiako.
Okay.
Yes. It's only concerned about the relationship between accused number 2 and Mr. Mjiako.
No, you're now going to other things.
Yes.
Me, I'm just asking, this letter, are you disputing the veracity of what is stated there? That's all. Mr. Lisi?
I make no contest. In other words, I don't dispute.
Okay.
Not contested, thank you.
Yes, Ms.
No, my lord.
Okay.
Then, lastly, my lords, we've handed various occurrence books and registers from various police stations, Exhibit MM, NN, NN1, NN2, PP, QQ, SS, UU, 1 and 2. The originals are here, they are available, my lord. The court orderly has just gone to collect them.
Okay.
If it's, we can keep them in our custody and bring them to court every time.
Yeah, you should do that.
Yeah, should they be needed.
Yeah, please.
Futhi-ke ney'ncwadi-ke ezahlukeneke zama-police station ahlukene zikhona-ke lana zizogcinwa-ke umbuso uma ukuthi ziyadingeka-ke zizolethwa khona enkantolo.
Then the state closes its case, my lord, when the trial is in trial.
Okay.
Umbuso uthi-ke lona ufakazi oqeda ukuphuma lana-ke bekuwufakazi wabo wokugcina-ke kulolu daba-ke oluvelile-ke kulona icala leli.
Okay, so we sit on Monday when the defense will decide what to do. Mr. Ngomezo.
As a court basis, my lord,
Mr. Mjiako.
my colleague will stand in for me for.
Oh, yes, Mr. Banda. Okay, thanks. Mr. General.
So,